Hello and welcome back to another Max Sphere Clear video. This time it's a double feature, Mel
What
Blades
form suits you
and
tonight?
Morrigan Blades. So,
Really?
as a bit of context, I got a Mel Blades clear a couple months ago at this point. I decided I would go for all four Blade 67s in the Underworld, so I decided I'll just start playing some Morrigan and,
My
get good at
form.
that and then potentially get it clear within, I don't know, maybe like 2 weeks or something. That was not what happened. It took me quite a while to get the Morrigan clear, although the Mel Blades clear was almost immediate because Mel Blades are very similar to the other blades. That might be reflected in my commentary, as there's not really much else to say about Mel Blades that I haven't already said about Artemis or Pan Blades. But yeah, the Morrigan
Such an
67
intricate.
really took a lot out of me. And, you know what, that's fine. Some things are just gonna take a while. Sometimes you just gotta spend extra time to do things, and honestly, I don't really mind the grind, probably. But yeah, it's funny because
Still
the
not a
thumbnail of
whisper.
this video, drawn by my friend Red, whose socials you can find in the description, drew that up for the Mel Blade 67, but when I decided I would make this a double feature between both Mel Blades and Morrigan Blades, that thumbnail ended up going unused until finally now I can actually get this video out. So yeah, um, again, Mel Blades very similar to
Untouched by the
the
fates.
other standard blades like Pan and Artemis.
Lifeless.
Morgan, completely different. And I'll dive deeper into this once the post commentary starts. But just understand, there's a lot of reasons why Pan is much more difficult than the other blades on Max Sphere. Probably still not the most difficult aspect, but definitely like sort of like in the middle, I guess, because it can still perform fairly well on Max Sphere with the right setup. And yeah, what else? So post commentary was a little bit unhinged this time, I'm gonna be honest. I've already recorded it at the time of recording this, so I don't know. Prepare for some weird things to be said during it, but yeah. With that out of the way, let's move on to the runs.
My fate is mine.
All right, on to the
All
Mel Blades post
unseen.
commentary. So full disclosure, this clearing run is kind of old at this point. I think it
Headmistress
was
guide
back
me.
in March that I got this, and I just haven't gotten around to uploading it just now because I wanted to pair it with the Morrigan. So this is pre-patch. Um, doesn't really affect a whole lot, just letting you know. Anyways, we start out with Deep Descent and Reaper Knives. Reaper Knives is very powerful even as a start on Mel Blades because you can get the backstab damage bonus with the Reaper Knives, which is very nice, as most things are additive and Reaper Knives is multiplicative. And of course, Deep Descent is going to be very useful once we get to Hades, although it's not going to be doing a hell of a lot before then. There's not really a whole lot to say about this weapon, considering its playstyle is very similar to Artemis and Pan. I guess Pan is slightly different, but Artemis especially is very similar. You just get Trick Knives or Reaper Knives and hope you win, I guess. One thing that is worth mentioning is that Mel Blades are less reliant on getting a percent special. Artemis can make like Blitz special or Score special work on like a non-67 environment, but in an actual 67 when you don't have global damage bonuses, it tends to fall behind the other options. Mel Blades can absolutely make these other options work because it comes with built-in damage, so that damage can be useful for racking up some extra percent on some enemies while you use something like Scorch Special or Blitz Special. And since it obviously doesn't have crits to worry about, then you don't have to get a percent special. See Hera here? Hera is the best hit on special. I think I've gone over this before. Hera on Trick Knives is very powerful. Even without Trick Knives, it's very powerful on just Reaper Knives because Reaper Knives are still piercing and they can hit multiple enemies and then they can deal hitch damage on the way back after hitting an enemy once. So yeah, still very powerful.
Queen Hera.
Unfortunately, we don't get the special from Hera. None of these are really all that appealing. I decided to just take Sworn Strike since it's a little bit of extra percent in the early game, but thankfully we see another Hera boon right afterwards, so hopefully we will actually get the special this time. Unfortunately, get hit by the Thornstalker there.
In the name of Hades.
And we have Hitch specials. Thankfully, we didn't lose Hereditary Bane in the process either. Hereditary Bane is going to be very useful later on if we can manage to hit it. See Arachne here. We're obviously going to take the Onyx dress because it's the highest value dress on offer. There's Chaos Gate here. I decided to take it after a little bit of deliberation.
A little pain is all.
Mid-shop and Chaos are kind of similar choices. Chaos is like, oh, I take a risk for a boon here, a risk on a curse for a good boon, and as it turns out, none of these curses really do all that much, so I guess it really didn't matter in the end. I guess that the buff is kind of nice. Getting some extra boon rarity can be pretty useful later on. Anyways, you can start to see the hit special do some work here. As you can see, the piercing of the blades makes it very powerful with Hitch.
Back to the dust.
Accidentally press the fishing button here. Oftentimes, whenever a reward spawns right next to a fishing point, most players will just mash the pickup button as soon as the encounter ends, and if you happen to be next to a fish when that happens, usually you just end up fishing by accident. See Afro here. Afro doesn't do a whole lot, but I don't know, maybe Glamour Game could be useful. Some extra damage resistance is always nice. Again, you can see the extra hitbox size of Reaper Knives combined with Hitch Special makes these rooms go by very quickly, even without Trick Knives. These options are all pretty bad. I just take Secret Crush because, why not? Who cares? So yeah, we're mostly just going to be spamming our special from here on out. No reason to get dangerous with the attack unless we need to. As long as there's a bunch of enemies on screen, it's going to be generally pretty worth it to just keep spamming the special out and getting some AoE damage on. My usual rotation when attacking with the standard blades is you attack until you get the rapid jab, then you special, and then after you special, you attack again, and that will get your attack 4 pattern, and then after your attack 4 pattern, you special again, and then you can repeat the cycle from the beginning. It's pretty nice. It's a pretty nice attack pattern in my opinion, but it's a little bit risky. Now we're going into Hecate with 1 minute and 13 seconds. That's a little bit scary. I would much rather have like 1.5 minutes going into Hecate. Usually she takes like 1 minute 20 or something to complete. However, minute 15, especially with this build, is still totally doable. Mid-phase pattern, pretty solid. There's a lot of really mean mid-phase patterns that Hecate can give you, and that is one of the nicer ones. Here, I don't know. That move has a really jank hitbox and can come out really quickly and catch you off guard, so that's what happened there. Sheepball dodge. Yeah, with the sheepball dodge, it's really about getting the split right. Once the sheepball splits, you really, once the sheepball splits and you have the back and forth going, it's pretty easy to dodge it from there, as long as there's no like weird floor patterns from Hecate. Taking a lot of unnecessary damage here, unfortunately, because the witches are taking a little while to clear. Here, very spooky. Hecate uses Dark Side. Try to hide behind the pillar, but unfortunately, I'm not quite aligned. Thankfully, Hecate takes mercy on me and decides to not do the third ring pattern of the Dark Side, which is very nice. Thank you, Hecate. That could have been a lot more annoying otherwise. But yeah, this is a pretty solid build. Totally workable. You can definitely win without Trick Knives. Your single target DPS is a little bit lacking, but it's definitely workable.
As father
Purge
to
the
one.
attack there because there are definitely better
Feel
attack
very
options
nervous.
than Hitch attack, considering we already have Hitch special. We'll take all three of the things in the well. The specials, the arrows, and the Chaos Gate are all useful because we do have Timepiece, and we're going to be able to buy a lot of stuff anyways because of
The
that.
air's thick.
Um,
I'm ready.
Timepiece is just very powerful on Max Sphere because you can snowball your build much more easily. And while taking a defensive key stake might make it way easier to get past Sirens, which can be useful sometimes, you're also leaving yourself vulnerable in the mid to late game. You might time out in Fields or Chronos because you lack the build scaling, or you might end up not getting the defensive options that you need and just fall behind in general later on. Right here we see Hestia. That's not a bad god to see. I think Swolnering there. Honestly, Flash Cry is probably better, but Swolnering's pretty good too. It's nice bonus damage to get onto a boss or something. It also leads to some tier 2s like Hot Pot, Pyrotechnique, Highly Flammable, that are all very good with very good for farming up fire boons for a potential slow cooker later. Slow cooker is very powerful with blades in general, but it's especially powerful on trick knives because the trick knives, because you're hitting like up to 6 times in a single attack rotation, you can basically multiply the power of slow cooker by 6. It's also it's also part of the reason why Reaper Knives is so powerful. Don't take the elements there. I just decided to take the magic and the grasp, which are nice purge targets and get me a lot of extra money. Balder spawns here. Yeah, pre-patch, you used to be able to see armored boulders actually have the yellow outline. They don't have that anymore in patch 2, and I don't know why they removed that. Because it makes boulders in Oceanus way more annoying because you can't tell if a boulder is armored or not at a glance, and that sucks. Poseidon boon, that's pretty bad. We don't want Poseidon. He's gonna clog up space in our pool. We already have 3 gods in the pool, one of which isn't really doing a whole lot, so to add Poseidon on top of that is not very good. So I decided to do the Unseal minigame, and we don't hit because technically it's slightly better than Poseidon, but we still want better. Especially because we don't have any more charges on our timepiece. We need a Hermes boon. That's definitely better than Poseidon. Yeah, here you can see the real power of Hitch specials, or just Hitch in general. Hitch plus Scorch is very good. You can drop your Scorch cast onto a large group of enemies and hitch those enemies, and the hitch damage just kind of goes crazy on top of them. Take the Nitro Boost there. Nitro Boost is a powerful defensive option. And we see Zeus looking for the attack, and we hit, as well as some armor. Very nice. Zeus also has Static Shock. The attack isn't going to be particularly useful just yet. It's mostly good with Trick Knives, but it's totally fine with Reaper Knives as well. Unfortunate hit there. Yeah. There's not much to say about this Siren's fight. You just kind of don't get hit, don't die, etc. Sirens is very difficult on Max Sphere. It's sort of like it's the gatekeeper boss really from the early and late game. I kind of like that difficulty curve. Curb this feature here, unfortunate. Curb this feature is very time consuming, not what you want to see. And it's also just rather annoying and difficult. Thankfully, we have yet to see any of the explosions come. Oh, here comes one right now. Fortunately, we lose our Golly block there. Bad timing. Nearly get hit by that explosion, but thankfully we're safe. Yeah, Kind of got cornered there. Probably could have maneuvered around the balls a little bit better, but oh well. Probably shouldn't have gotten hit by that outer ring by Roxy's attack, but I mean, we take what we can get. Oof. Yeah. Yeah, this is why Encourage's feature sucks. The explosive balls take so long to explode and clear the screen, so they take up so much space for however long they're active, and you just kind of have to eat that time loss, and I certainly don't like it. Anyways, final phase skill up. Thankfully, rather clean end phase there. Could have been a lot worse.
In we go.
Alright, keepsake choice here. I decide to take Tooth. In hindsight, Sash is definitely way better there. Sash, you get a bunch of armor, and if you manage to not get hit during your entire field, you get to keep that armor into Tartarus while you're Antler, which is pretty useful for defensive stuff, obviously. There's not really many other good choices. I guess you could take Knuckle Bones for easier serve. You could maybe even take like a coin purse if you want some extra gold. I don't know. It's not like it would really matter. We have enough gold to buy like the rest of the boons for a run, so it would really only matter if we hit like paid dues or something. But like, come on, what are the odds of that happening? We take the gold first and hammer second, because if Echo does not offer us evade, sometimes she can offer you reward, and that will give you an extra hammer, which would be useful if we don't hit Trick Knives here, or even if we do hit Trick Knives, we could hit Sure Shot Flurry on top of it, which gives us extra range on our specials. Fortunately, get hit by the Lamia there. Lamia often have they're often kind of like a background character. You gotta go back and stagger them every now and then. We get Trick Knives. So now the run is pretty smooth sailing from here on out, especially if we hit evade from Echo. Trick Knives just makes everything so much easier, especially with Reaper Knives. Because Reaper Knives have a bigger hitbox, the Trick Knives will more frequently hit all three. Very good. Fortunately, I got hit by Queen Lamia here. Queen Lamia is a very annoying boss. So is Phantom, but
Crude sorcery at best.
yeah, they're surprisingly difficult fights. That's all I have to say. And we evade. So with Trick Knives, with Hitch specials, with Reaper Knives, we have officially secured the dub. Pretty much, it would take a catastrophic series of events in order to lose this run. And to top it all off, we get a 2-2 field, so now even our timer is looking great. So I recognize the layout of this fields room. That's something I've been doing. When you recognize the fields layout, you can ignore the tree sometimes. And if you don't know exactly where your rewards might be, you can still just you oftentimes know where the tree is. So in this room, the rewards are set up in a horizontal line in the center with the tree slightly above them. So I move my way over to the next reward, which is on the far side. And it's a Nem encounter. You can tell it's a Nem encounter because of the screen border having that weird effect when she shows up. Unfortunately, Nem immediately eats one of my evades. That's something unfortunate about Nemesis, is that she absolutely eviscerates your evades. And then we've also lost like multiple other evades. So our evade is very sad right now. I wouldn't say that all of it is my fault, but I guess evade is so powerful anyways. Like even like if it didn't have this random BS, it would be just so stupid, so ridiculous. So I guess it makes sense that it has a lot of weird quirks that help balance it out a little bit. Generally want to stay a little bit away from Nem so that she doesn't steal your evades. Yeah, with that, we can exit the room. Go into end shop. Afro my end shop, that's unfortunate. She really doesn't have anything for me. So Spiritual Affirmation and Glamour Gain. We're going to be antlering after Cerberus, so damage resistance or extra HP doesn't really do a whole lot for me at this point. I guess Glamour Gain could be useful if I get armor or something, but I just decided to take the Shameless attitude. Because, you know, extra damage. Nice for our Blitz, I guess. See the old Serb entrance animation. Spacing around Serb's attacks best I can. That was a little mean overlap. Thank you, Serb. Ways mid-face Serb. Now this part sucks. Thankfully, I managed to get through the ads without too much of a hassle. Normally, these guys love to just steal all of your golly blocks and evades. Thankfully, that doesn't happen this time. Spooky. At least it looks spooky, but the ground explosions will disappear when Serb does the screen-wide nuke. Rock Combo Breaker here. This is scary. I stepped in the lava for just a little while in order to stay safe versus the floor explosions there. That's a little bit of a mean pattern there, Serb. Yeah, Serb, I feel like I've said this before, but like Serb is like a very polarizing boss. Sometimes he's like very simple and quick, and sometimes he just gives you the worst floor patterns you've ever seen. A nice dodge there, by the way. That was a little silly of me. Thankfully we make it through. Yeah, Serb decides to just kind of to do that. I'm a little impatient, so I decide to attack him a little bit as well. And that is the Serb fight done. So here I'm debating with people in the group chat that I'm in whether I want to proc my tooth or not. Because I'm going to antler, it's not really going to heal me for anything, but as other people point out, if I lose my DD here, I can potentially rebuy it in the Well of Charon and then remove tooth, which surprisingly actually lets you keep your DD, it just doesn't show up on your health bar. We call that an invisible DD. So yeah, that's a potential angle here. Would be a nice extra resist if we have White Antler. Unfortunately, we don't hit it. That's fine. We don't really need it. And yeah, it's White Antler. We have Evade, we have Nitro Boost, we have Galles. There's not really much of a reason to not take it. It's pretty solid pickup.
Unseen. Kronos awaits. Ever-shifting chambers, realign.
Reconfigure Tartarus. Oh,
so here's a very mellow Tartarus. Again, Reaper Knives plus Trick Knives plus Hitch is an incredibly busted combo. So, yeah. Tartarus is going to be quite chill. See Hades here. We already have beat Descent, so this isn't really all that worthwhile, but I just take it anyways, so who cares? Last gasp for the 10%. I guess that's one of the reasons to not proc tooth there, although I suppose that last gasp shows up only depending on whether you've had a DD, so it would show up if you just pick tooth and even if you didn't lose it. I guess it's another reason to pick Sash. This room is a little bit spooky. Armor Tempai, always pretty terrifying.
All right.
This room is sketch. A lot of armored gold bags. Thankfully, we can deal with them pretty quickly because they tend to group up at the edge of rooms, so you can deal with them pretty quickly with hitch knives. Got some Virofence and some gold bags. Again, none of these enemies are particularly terrifying. I guess I do get hit there because they attack me from off screen. It's my bad. They are low weight though, so that's kind of frustrating to deal with. So the room is going to take a decent amount of time. But it's okay. Our timer is pretty solid. It's just going to be a little bit of an annoyance. And now this is a little bit scary. Armored thugs are incredibly dangerous Tartarus enemies, so I decided to keep my distance as much as possible and take them out safely. And thankfully, this room is like incredibly short. Like I don't think I've seen a shorter Tart room. Honestly, quite crazy. So yeah, now we're into Tartarus or into Chronos, and I checked this Hermes boon, and it's paid dues. It's just paid dues. So yeah, with the extra money that we're about to pick up here from the dead ads, we're going to have like an additional like 100 HP buffer against Chronos. So that's alongside the armor we picked up. That's actually pretty darn useful. I suppose Hestia was potentially the more reasonable pick there because she could have given us a slow cooker or a couple of other boons that are useful. Actually, it's honestly probably just slow cooker and not much else. But hey, slow cooker's pretty good. Oh well. Runs P1. Thanks to the deep descent, P1 is pretty chill. Trying to keep my distance, not getting hit. Nice dodge there. I did not handle that move properly. That was a horrendous dodge. I don't know what the hell I was thinking there. But thankfully, Evade bails us out. We get time slowed here. That's pretty spooky. But he completely whips and misses me. So. Yeah, this Chronos fight is a wash. The result was determined but the moment I stepped into this room, so I'm not really chill. I'm not really stressed like at all at this point. And getting bailed out by Evade and the most ridiculous dodge you'll ever see is definitely helping. Although we do lose a Galley there. We do have one left though, so that's pretty nice. At this point, while I was in the call, I was literally beatboxing to the music in the background, which was crazy. Unfortunately, I don't have a recording of it, but I assure you it was very bad.
Nice pose.
Don't know how I dodged that. Nice combo breaker. Oh, thank you, Golly. It's okay, we have paid dues, which I believe we already lost a little bit of that paid dues just then, but we still have plenty more left. Absolutely breaking Chronos' ankles here. Nice job, Gramps. Idiot. Don't skip leg day next time. I don't care about how lanky your legs are. still need to go that leg day. Anyways, I'm just like, get it over with. Just get it over with. Just kill him. I don't care if I'm time slowed. Huge triple sight dodge and time slow, by the way. That was crazy. But yeah, that's the Mel Blades 67. Again, it's... I struck not even once. No, you definitely hit me a few times. It's just I'm better. Actually, I clicked all the... I chose all the dodge boons, and they made me win. So yeah, again, Mel Blades, very similar to Artemis Blades, just without the parry and with a little bit of extra backstab damage, so it's not really all that much to discuss. But yeah, that's the Mel Blade 67, so let's move on to the Morrigan 67.
This is fate. Walk in the woods.
Walk in the woods, indeed. So we start out with Deep Descent once again. No hammer this time, but that's fine. So Morrigan, very different from the other blades. Morrigan's general loop is you attack, you omega attack, and you special, you proc your triad, and it's awesome. So unfortunately, Morrigan is very much punished by just how max sphere is. Because you don't have sorceress, you don't have persistence, it's very difficult to run magic aspects. And Morrigan can especially feel that. However, it's definitely much better off than some of the other magic aspects. It has a rather cheap omega attack for how incredibly powerful it is, and obviously the triads are just a cherry on top. And you also have a few options for making your omegas like definitely usable, such as Final Slice. That one's very good for dealing with ads, or not ads, just like small enemies in general. Though, generally speaking, you do want to still use your Blood Triads for larger enemies, unless you have like an insanely powerful attack build. Here we saw a Hera boon on the door. Hera is very powerful on the attack with Morrigan, because the Omega attack, again, the pulses, they go across the entire room. So it's a great way to hitch a large group of enemies and then deal hitch damage immediately afterwards. So again, we're looking for the attack here, and we don't hit it. That's okay. Engagement Ring is a criminally underrated boon in my opinion. I love like going into a group of spindles and then just dropping it down and watching them all explode, because it effectively goes through wards. Thankfully, we see Apollo here, so Apollo attack is honestly even better than Hera attack. Although it definitely is slightly build dependent, but they're both very good options. So I'm no longer upset about missing Hera attack, because Apollo attack would be even better, I guess. And we missed that one too. No, it's okay. We got Blinding Rush. Blinding Rush is still powerful, and Morrigan has such good boonless damage that we don't really need it just yet. Would love to buy that hammer, but oh well. See Afro here. Afro, we're looking for specifically Glamour Gain. Another problem with magic aspects on Max Sphere is they struggle to get gains in the early game, and getting an early gain is hugely important on Morrigan, because getting to Ekati without a gain is painful, and thankfully we get Glamour Gain. And that, it's not enough to support a sweeping ambush build, but it is certainly more than enough to support a standard build, and on top of that, we get a little bit of extra damage resistance, which is very useful. So yeah, now we're allowed to use our Omegas with impunity. Don't have to save them anymore. Nice, you can see the power of Engagement Ring right there. The group of spindles just like completely exploded. See mid shop here. Don't have Arachne Pity here. It's kind of unfortunate. Okay, we see Arachne anyways. Also, yes, this is post-patch now, so talking to Charon, pretty getting some extra dialogue. See Channel Dress here. So we actually take Channel Dress over Onyx Dress, because channel speed, as I mentioned before, because you don't have Sorceress on High Fear, getting the extra channel speed is huge. And we hit a big purple Nova Strike. Unfortunately, losing the back burner in the process, but that's honestly fine. Purple attack is huge. What is it? Apollo scales pretty well with rarity. Apollo attack, at least. So getting a high rarity on it is pretty useful. So here I got weirdly buffered, and I take a lot of and I eat a ton of damage for it. But thankfully, with the Glamour Gain, And the weak effect, we are spared our dress. That would have destroyed my dress if I had not had Glamour Gain. So everybody, remember to say thank you to Glamour Gain every now and then. It's probably saved a run or two of yours before. Because this run would probably not make it as far without the channel dress. None of these particularly useful. Sweet Surrender, I guess 28% is okay, but like if we have a 100% on our attack already, then it's like, whatever.
Wow.
See a hammer here. There's a couple things we want. I already mentioned Final Slice earlier. It's especially powerful with Apollo attack. You can basically hit half the room with it. Another powerful option is Rapid Onslaught. That gives you even more channel speed on your Mega attack, and is a good contingency plan if we lose our dress for any reason. There's also Wicked Onslaught, just another powerful, just general base power on your attack, and Omega attack. You know, you can't go wrong with that. Sleeping Ambush we don't really want because we have Glamour Gain, and as I mentioned earlier, Glamour Gain can't really support it. What else? There's also Phantom Brand and Banshee Brand for better triads. Phantom Brand is kind of because it really only comes into play when you hit fields, but Banshee Brand is still pretty good. And I decided to take Wicked Onslaught, as I said before. Phantom Brand really only comes into play during fields onwards because the enemies don't have enough HP to eat a full triad, although it is kind of useful from that point onwards. I decided to take the shop here. That was not the right play. I definitely should have taken a Hex. Obviously, you can use Hexes with any aspect as long as you get growth nodes, but since Morrigan is a magic aspect, you absolutely want a Hex regardless. Twilight Curse and Wolf Howl are just both so powerful and useful, and passing up on the Hex there was absolutely not the play. But it's okay. You can't play. You don't always make the right decisions in the moment. I was hoping for some more armor in End Shop, and because we only have 5 armor here, and if we find some more armor in the End Shop, it'll make our dress a little bit easier to hold on to. Really hoping to keep the dress past the fight, because we do have a plan for that. Weird teleport there. Nice. I'm pretty sure that attack would have broken my dress. Actually, I think it normally does 4 damage, so it would have been left on 1. Anyways, Sheep Ball Split. Same mid-phase pattern that we got in the Mel Blades run. Here, I'm playing a little bit patiently. Morrigan is a weapon that you have to be patient with. It's very slow and deliberate, completely different to the normal blades. Honestly, I like that juxtaposition. I think that it's a very cool weapon. It's just very, it just requires the right kind of patience that I usually don't have, admittedly. Yeah, right here, you see, whenever you try to use your Omega attack on any blade, it shows a target under the enemy that you're about to attack. So right there, I was waiting for the target to appear under Hecate, and then I ripped it the moment I saw it. With Morrigan, it's a little bit suspicious. It's a little bit sus among us because because multiple targets will appear under multiple enemies because the Omega attack obviously creates multiple pulses. So you can't always tell which one is you're going to teleport to, but usually you can gauge based on contextual clues, I guess. Anyways, this time I'm not actually taking Timepiece. I'm taking Silken Sash because, again, channel dress, very, very important. I want to hold on to this channel dress as long as possible, so I take Silken Sash early. And not to mention, Morrigan's boonless damage is so powerful. Obviously, I'm not boonless, but I don't need as many boons to get a powerful run-winning build on Morrigan as I would on any other aspect, so it makes a lot of sense to not take Timepiece there and instead take the Silken Sash. Fish Room here. You can see the Apollo attack AoE coming in handy here. Large part of the reason why Apollo attack is so good. If we had Final Slice, that would also work just fine for this room.
Got you.
Picking up the magic. Obviously, we're actually playing a magic aspect. Whoa! Big armored fish. That was spooky. I probably should have taken a hit there, but I mean, I don't think I deserve to take a hit there, at least. The fish look so goofy when they die. I don't know why. And here, We are 7 gold short of a half boon. Half boon would be hugely impactful here. We could get a special, we could get heavy metal, we could get a trusty shield, all of which would be fantastic, especially with maintaining the dress, but oh well. I was running around looking for maybe a hidden gold pot somewhere that would give me just the gold I needed, but unfortunately, well, we didn't get it. I guess I should have taken timepiece, huh? Tony fight. He's dead. Bye, Tony. Yeah, you can see with the Omega Attack teleport, you can like your special will like follow behind you in a way that makes it easy to chain triads on enemies. This is generally only possible with channel speed, so thankfully the channel address is going to be useful here. See a hex, and it's total and utter garbage. None of these are really all that appealing. I guess that probably Total Eclipse is best there. Yeah, doesn't really matter. Probably wouldn't be using it much either way. I kind of like Phase Shift. We get an Asphodel skip here. That's useful, I guess. We don't care about the room award, so we're just gonna skip this. Not that we would get it anyways. Anyway, here, oh boy, that skeleton, that freaking skeleton jumped up and almost ended my life, but thankfully I got saved by the days. I would have been so mad if that actually hit me.
Hail, boatman.
And eaten into my armor. See Zeus in the end shop. Honestly, Zeus probably doesn't do a whole lot to this build. At this point, I'm really just looking for defensive stuff. There's the only like really game-changing stuff. The only big game-changing things I can get at this point are hammers, like Final Slice or Rapid Onslaught. Okay, Jetty didn't make a sound there, so I didn't. I didn't know that she was about to dash at me, and there is just a clusterfuck everywhere. And yeah, the Sirens is going pretty poorly. I'll be lucky to maintain my channel address after this, with how badly I played. Probably should have gotten hit there. I didn't. Oh well. I'd also like to point out the fact that I don't think I saw a single hippo throughout that entire Oceanus. That's very good, because hippos, their projectiles, if you try to Omega Attack a hippo, and it has a projectile right in front of it, the projectile will instantly explode, and it will hit you, and you will be very sad. Anyways, Jetty feature, not the worst feature, but it's definitely one of the scarier ones. There's a group of people in the Hydra Discord that swear that Jetty feature is worse than Curved Disc feature. I think they're stupid. Just kidding, I love them. Again, I think that Curved Disc feature is mainly terrifying, and that it's a time waster. And I don't like time wasters. I'm impatient. She knows about me. That's why I hate the Morrigan. Just kidding, I love the Morrigan. Oof. I got hit by the Roxy Pulse before I was able to teleport out. So unfortunately I lost Sky Block for that. Anyways, right there, I moved incredibly sloppy, and I absolutely should have gotten hit by the tentacle there, but thankfully it died before I was able to get its attack off. Here, waiting for Jetty to finish her little attack there, just to be a little bit safe. And here, thankfully, 2 clean triads finished off Skilla before Final Phase ends up becoming a problem. I have lost runs to Final Phase Skilla on the Morrigan. It is really not fun on the Morrigan. It's difficult to get an Omega Attack to hit Skilla. You have to approach her from like a really weird angle. So being able to kill her that effectively, that quickly, is very good. Trust me. Here, keepsake choice.
Keepsake now.
Nah, not really like a whole lot of great options here. My HP is so low that Tooth doesn't really feel that appealing. I guess it's okay if I get more HP and it is an extra hit. But one option does stick out to me, and it's one I normally wouldn't consider, which is Hephaestus Keepsake. Hephaestus Keepsake could get us a heavy metal, it could give us a trusty shield, and both of those are going to go miles in maintaining the dress, especially because if we take the Tooth, we can only activate the Tooth if we lose our dress. And Hephaestus can give us more defensive options even if we don't lose our dress. So in the end, after a lot of deliberation, I decided to take Hephaestus, even though it makes me lose my deep descent and makes the Chronos fight harder. I decide that the opportunity cost is absolutely worth it if we hit a trusty shield. Admittedly, in hindsight, I'm not sure if that's entirely correct because we're only gonna have one guaranteed heft boon. It's unlikely that we're gonna hit more than one, and he has a lot of things that he could give to you other than heavy metal or trusty shield, maybe even security system, I guess. Stay hydrated. Um, right here, I'm waiting because I normally stream like with the Mel Blades run. I stream this one in a voice channel, so I'm kind of like looking at what the other people are doing. Here, don't really recognize where the heck I am at first until I see this little structure to my left. I'm like, oh, it's the bean room. I call this room the bean room because it's shaped like a bean. You know, beans are like really delicious. I like beans. I like rice and beans. They got lots of protein in them too. Blowshade, annoying. We hate blowshades. Thankfully, we don't have evade yet, so it's not as disastrous as it would otherwise be. Rip Bozo got destroyed by that pillar. Lol. Bro is trying to suck me so hard. Die. Feels good. We hate blowshades. Unfortunately, the onion is literally on the other side of the room. Wonderful. Love to see it. Wish I saw that on my way out. Very simple encounter.
All clear.
Ah, excuse me. See two mini-boss doors. F is here. Yay. I can finally get my trusty shield, or heavy metal. Or more likely just neither. Anyways, Queen Lamia again. Thanks to the teleports, I'm able to just weave in and out of her attack patterns very safely, and that was an incredibly clean fight.
That's enough slithering about.
Oh, now what is that you've got with you?
And yay, we have trusty shield. So we actually get what we want to. Our dress is marginally safer unless we get hit by a 35 damage attack. And on top of it, we get evade.
I won't forget this.
And now the run is very, very safe. However, I have thrown runs like this multiple times. I'm embarrassed. Again, this run took me a lot longer than it should have.
Either way.
I threw so many good runs, like an absurd amount of good runs on this aspect. And I'd be embarrassed to tell you. Like, I've had so many runs just like this that I just threw. Fortunately, our evade is getting eaten up by just random stuff. Hate to see that. We're definitely going to want to keep as much of it as we can into Servant Chronos. Anyways, Hammer 2. Looking for Final Slice or Rapid Onslaught. And this Final Slice. Again, Sweeping Ambush is not viable here because Glamour Gang cannot support it. I've said that 2 times before this.
2 more.
But I'll say it one more time just because why not? Clearing out the bloat shade before it potentially sucks me and eats another like 4% of my evade. And gonna be taking advantage of the Final Slice here to deal with all the small enemies. I panic. I see a lot of scary stuff, so I just pop my my time slow. Yeah, Final Slice is great for all the smaller enemies, as I mentioned before. You generally still want to use your triads on some of the larger enemies. Right here, I'm trying to look for my evade percent, and one of the chompers just teleports on top of me and eats my golly block. Thanks, Chomper. Awesome. Love, beautiful occurrence there. Take 11 damage to the wolf thing, whatever. Thankfully, we have Trusty Shield, so it doesn't matter. This palm does nothing. We really only took this room for the hammer and not much else.
I'm going. Step aside.
And shop. I'm tired. It's 10:45 p.m.
In the name of Hades.
This is a nothing burger Zoo Spoon. King's Ransom, losing on engagement ring for 4 levels on
Been rolling around in
Blitz
mirror
attack on
imaging.
Blitz special is like the most nothing for nothing trade ever. Oh, and also procs hubris, so definitely not worth it. I guess Arc Flash can be nice, because we are going to be using Omega attacks pretty frequently. Anyway, Serb. Because Serb has such a giant hitbox, you can get into these really interesting triad loops with Morrigan, where your special is attacking him at once, the pulses of your Omega attack are hitting him at once, and then you can attack him, and then you can use your attack, and that hits multiple times, and you can just get like so many triads at once. It's really satisfying. Serb is also, again, Serb is like, either he's like the chillest, easiest thing ever, or he gives you a screen wipe pattern and then does a short spit and you get sad. Or he does that. rest in peace, cast stress. And now all of a sudden this is a very spooky moment here because our Gale is not online. Oh wait, never mind. There she is. Oh man, she's gone again. So once again, very spooky. Very spooky Serb. Hoping that he doesn't do any like crazy weird patterns. We do have a phase shift on deck, which could be useful. He does the explosives. I decide I'm not gonna take too many risks there, and then immediately teleport directly into him. Like look at that triple triad there. Hugely satisfying on Serb. Swipe has a weird hitbox. Yeah, I still haven't adjusted to the slower channel speed. So that was an incredibly risky Omega attack.
Had enough for now.
As I mentioned, I'm not the most patient person, so Morrigan doesn't necessarily mesh with my playstyle as well as it might otherwise. I make a lot of ridiculous,
Be at peace again.
overly aggressive plays that I absolutely should not. And that's honestly probably why it took this long for me to win. Because this run was so bad. It's just, I just got carried by Evade in the end. You'll see in the Chronos fight. Anyways, taking Antler.
Pool of purging.
You might want to consider taking Metallic Droplet here if you don't have like a good Final Slice spell. But since we have both Wicked and Final Slice, the Antler is actually a pretty solid pick here. Especially because it has like basically no opportunity cost. We aren't losing. Well, it's not opportunity cost. It's we aren't. There's no cost to using it because we're going down from like 44 HP to 30. That's like nothing. And we also have Trusty, and we also have Evade, and we also have what is it? We have Blinding Rush. That's a pretty good boon. I like Blinding Rush. Yeah, you can see that our triads are starting to fall behind a little bit. Not one-shotting the Virofence or the Shield Satyrs, whatever the heck they're called. They're Hoplites, yeah, that's what they're called. Satyr Hoplites. See Dad here, hoping to get our Deep Descent back, hopefully, please. Extra dialogue from patch 2. Yeah, sure, why not? We don't get it. Unseen Ire is really the only thing that does anything. Again, because we're antlering, life tax is like, nah. Playing really safe with those Revenants on the traps. I really don't want to take any damage, even though it probably doesn't matter. I don't think that you can dodge traps. Oh, this is silly. Oh, well, my lack of channel speed, I thought unfortunately screwed me over from getting my attack off, and then this weird thing happens. I don't know. That was badass. That's like the coolest thing I've ever done, like ever. Lots of skills here. Drop the cast. Not taking any risk with these guys. They can easily eat up all your resists if you're not careful. And now we have Speedy Satyr Hoplites. Ooh, wonderful. Just what the doctor ordered, man. Doctor ordering me a nice leisurely workout, dodging all these goddamn projectiles like it's Nom.
Who else?
And then to finish it off, we get a little bit. We get a few money bags. Cause why not? Money bags. Nothing really useful in that. Well, I guess we could take the Mistveil. Yeah. Nah. We don't need Mistveil. And hey, did somebody say money bags? Hey, here's some more money bags. We found Kronos' secret vault again, his secret stash. And it's for some reason there's lava everywhere. And the gold bags are fucking alive and they're trying to kill me. Listen, I don't know. This feels very inefficient for a gold vault. I'm gonna have to. Me and Grandpa Kronos are gonna. Me and Gramps are gonna have a chat about this later. Got some weird preferences. Thankfully, the darkness proc there allows me to finish off that room pretty safely.
The house.
No,
Hades.
none of these options really stick out to me. I think I would have loved to get some armor there. Unfortunately, we don't. Extra dose is kind of nice with Final Slice. You can get a huge amount of damage off in a single attack with it. Anyways, this is scary. This fight is by no means free. I mean, maybe if I were better at Morrigan, it would be pretty free, but I'm not very good at Morrigan, so this is going to be a little bit of a rough one. Trying to phase Kronos before dealing with the ads because nice miss, thank you, Days. Because there's a limit to how many ads Kronos can have in this fight, you can skip some or all of the second wave of ads by phasing him before he summons them. Note that banners also count towards the enemy limit, so that's another way of getting an ad skip. Nice. Like I said, I have no patience. I'm just gonna attack Kronos, and if I get hit, I get hit. That's not the mentality you want on Max Sphere. You want to play safe and calculated. Again, if you don't want to spend months on a Max Sphere clear, like I did, if that's not your first Max Sphere clear, don't do what I did. And also, what the hell? Yeah, Miniboss, I think Miniboss kind of fried my brain there, and I played way less safe than I should have. I don't usually play this fight with Deep Descent. Thankfully, we were able to finish off Kronos with just a little bit of finesse near the end. Everybody in the VC is telling me to play patient and safe, especially because I have a pretty generous time buffer right now. Here, because we don't have the extent. Oh, unfortunate. I used my dash a little bit too early there, so I'm not able to dodge when he does the slash. Obviously, we got to deal with the Senpai now. Very weird block hands. Annoying. But thankfully we are able to deal with the Tempai finally. Right here, we combo breakered Kronos when he was doing a combo, so boop, he does a very quick attack there. Thankfully, it somehow misses me. I genuinely have no idea how that didn't hit me, so whatever. Who cares? And who cares anymore? I'm just my attitude towards this Morrigan 67 near the end was just like so like whatever. Who cares? Sure, we take those. I clicked the evade. I got the weird buggy interactions. Whatever. Game's the game. A win's a win. Right there. Literally the site directly on top of me. No idea how that didn't hit me. Nice dodge as well. Now here, I try to pop my Omega attack so I can phase shift to counter his time slow with my own time slow because it's funny. For some reason, Mel just doesn't want to do the Omega attack. I don't know, maybe she's just tired or something. But nice. Yeah, another. I don't know if that. I don't think I thought I saw dodge checks. I don't know. Either way, that should have hit me. Oh, we dodged again. Whatever. I mean, I chose the evade boon. I better evade some evades, you know. Oh, nice. That was actually a pretty clean cutscene dodge, I will say. Chronos. Obviously, mid-phase cutscene is fucking stupid. And I deserve any time you get hit by a mid-phase cutscene, it's undeserved. I don't care about dodging that through whatever means. About whatever, you know what? It's done. It's done. The Morrigan 67 is done. I win. I don't care.
Sorry there, old boy. You shall not.
I got all the way down to like 20% on my evade, which is pitiful. Goddamn pitiful. In my opinion. Huge lag spike here. I don't know why that happened. Yeah. That's the Morrigan 6-7. That sure was a Morrigan 6-7, I think. I'm still pissed off about Serb stealing my channel address. Yeah. GG's. And thank you for watching.